they have survived carnage, conflict and combat. Tonight, it's the quarterfinals and all 8 remaining robots will enter the arena for a night for the ages. 8 robots enter. Only 4 will survive and get one step closer to becoming the BashBots champion. This is the quarterfinals of the most destructive tournament of all time. This is BashBots, the quarterfinals. Hello everybody and welcome back to BashBots. I am your host, the Dominus Ignis, and tonight it is the quarterfinals. The 8 best robots in the competition are all battling it out to get into the semi-finals and to hoist this trophy as the BashBots champion. Now let's take a look at our bracket. Last episode we saw 4 more robots take their spot here in the quarterfinals. You'll notice that 2 of our wildcards who lost their first match in the qualifying round are facing each other tonight, and that only 3 of the top 4 seeds remain in the competition. It's set to be a spectacular night. Let's jump right into our first match of the night, where we will see the number 4 seed Polis take on the number 5 seed Tenderlove. After defeating Amethyst in the qualifying round, Tenderlove once again defeated a big spinner in Sea Devil, deflecting the shots for the whole match. He's proven himself against the spinners, but how will he fare against a flipper? Polis has absolutely dominated his opponents in the competition so far, flipping Glacier and both Clusterbots of Connection out of the arena. Will he continue the streak against Tenderlove, or is this where his title hopes will end? Let's send it down to the damn Beaver to break down the matchup.
Who said that the spinners should get all the fun? After playing a game of Catch with Connection, Polis has shown just why it's the 4th seed, and now it's ready to take that powerful flipper to anyone it can, which in this case is Tenderlove. After taking out the very promising Sea Devil, this control bot has been eyeing up those long sides of Polis since this fight was confirmed. But meanwhile, the thoughts of Polis have been on other things. Like, if they've gotten 2 out of 2 robots out of the arena, are they going to shoot for a 3rd? Like that's even a question, this fight is going to be an explosive one no matter what weapon takes the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the United Kingdom, it's Tenderlove! In the blue square, from Ireland, it's Polis!
So, this is back to the fork configuration, and in between fights I've done some work on it, it's a bit quicker. I don't know if I'll be able to out-wedge Polis, but if I can get round and push it about a bit, I might be able to get it into a situation that it's not very good at dealing with. This robot is good at exploiting weaknesses.
Okay, so this is going to be a really tough match because Tenderlove is a very good control robot. If they get under us, we won't really be able to do much except watch ourselves get pushed around. So we're going to have to get to their sides, I guess, and hopefully flip them around.
Well, the time to be tender is gone. There is a place in the semi-finals at stake, and Tenderlove will be fighting the 4th seed Polis for that opportunity.
Well, no spinners here, but it's another high-stakes fight in BashBots. Polis and Tenderlove engage, and Polis swings over the body of Tenderlove as the Great hangs out the back and tries to take advantage of Polis's long sides there.
Yes, they've taken off the excellent from the previous round and it's back to the great. And it's doing its job, getting straight under Polis for a charge into the arena wall here, but they can't lift because the lifter, oh, that can flip! The arena does your job for you sometimes, nearly landed on the other flipper to boot.
Yeah, Tenderlove doing well here, and the size comparison between these two machines is quite strange. Tenderlove is this massive, gangly machine, and Polis looks tiny in comparison to it. And to get a purchase...
Polis is no short or small machine in the grand scheme of things. They're one of our larger robots, really, but Tenderlove is as big as they come. But that doesn't affect the weight as they still go sailing through the arena floor just like anybody else would from that full pressure flipper of Polis, which throws itself over here.
Yeah, a good minute into this fight now. It's taken Polis a while to warm up. Can it now get a few more flips in on Tenderlove, who's still going with this hang the great out the back strategy and drive away at Polis and hope for a misflip, which it did get there. Couldn't take advantage, but it's underneath again, and now it's put itself in trouble. Tenderlove gets away, but oh, Polis doesn't! Goodness me!
Oh, just staying in. That is not one of the outer zones in the arena on that side, but you still don't want to be in that kind of position. But now Tenderlove is the one in a precarious position. That's a good flip, but Tenderlove always flips backwards. They're not really designed to get those arena outing lifts. They're just designed to control you around the arena and turn you over. But that's what Polis is doing right now, twice in succession. Maybe here comes a third. Not quite, into the grip of Tenderlove instead.
Well. Polis had started to get ahead of steam in that period of the fight. And Tenderlove goes into the air, not through Polis this time, but of course, our overpowered arena floor flipper. Tenderlove again driving in on Polis. The two machines jostle for position. This has been a great fight as we close in on the last 30 seconds here. Can there be another clamp or flip of note in this one? Polis looks to attack. Tenderlove flings. Polis flings. Spin. Back and forth stuff. Both machines have had their periods. Now 10 seconds remain. And there goes the front flip.
That is damage! In the final 5 seconds, Polis flipping the blade from Tenderlove, and that could genuinely swing things. We finally see damage nearly 3 minutes into the affair, and the judges will now have to make their decision. This is how things started. Polis with that first attack, showing that we thought they had the better wedge, but then it wasn't really evident for the rest of the battle. The floor flipper comes into play. I would say Tenderlove was holding a minor lead throughout most of the battle. But then we get to the end of the big flip from Polis, takes the front lip off of Tenderlove. Maybe they needed the excellent after all.
The judges' results are in. The winner by split decision is Polis!
And on an extremely close judge's decision, Polis moves on to the semi-finals, where it will fight the winner of Sparks versus Umi Ryu, which we will see later tonight. Unfortunately, it's the end of the line for Tenderlove. It's time for our next fight of the night, where we will see the two remaining wildcards of Amethyst and Stardust Crusader battle it out.
I don't have any Joe jokes anymore, so let's just look at the match like a normal person. Two horizontal spinner wildcards that have pulled off some brilliant upsets and once again have put themselves in contention for the top spots of BashBots. Starting off with the slightly higher seeds, Amethyst at number 10 impressed many with a close loss in their qualifier, before going on to win their wildcard rumble by somehow getting their opponent out of the arena. After going on and taking out passive aggression Evo by flipping us over, it's more than ready to take on its next opponent, and what a shocker this one is. After a brilliant qualifier round, you expect the second seed Fireway to be here, but no! In comes Stardust Crusader as it upsets one of the most fierce robots on the scene. These are two wildcards that are more than ready to put their names into history books, but which one will move even further?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the UK, it's Amethyst! In the blue square, from the UK, it's Stardust Crusader!
Well, it's a tough opponent that I've got. I'm not confident I can beat it, so just going to go out there, put on a show. Made it this far, might as well go out in a blaze of glory if I'm going out.
Well, I wouldn't give up just yet, Stardust Crusader. You've already caused some major upsets in this bracket so far. Amethyst wasn't even supposed to be here either by seeding. Could be a good one.
Well, yes, on paper, this is a matchup you'd see in the last round of this tournament, but both of these machines made some incredible victories to get to this stage, and now they are against each other, both explosive in some interesting moments. But who will be the most explosive in this one? It's Amethyst with the more tactical start and a damaging start!
Whoa!
Big damage!
And Stardust Crusader getting taken apart, and we saw in the previous round from Amethyst as well, that wedge is so effective at deflecting horizontal spinners, and they're doing it again. But Stardust Crusader, as we know, is brilliant at last-minute turnarounds with blows of power you could never imagine. But I could never imagine that either. And
again!
there's the wheel.
Massive hits!
And there's only 2 of them on Stardust Crusader, so surely that has decided the fight right there and then. They can make some punches across the arena. Well, not anymore. There goes all the wheel. We're not even going to count it out. It's done. Amethyst, the 10th seed, moving on to the semi-finals. And they did it in quick fashion as well. Stardust Crusader, they couldn't get their 1 minute 40 second spin-up time on this occasion. There goes the armor panels when we saw the wheels go as they flew through the air. The bar kept working, but that was just about all that was left. Stardust Crusader didn't know what hit it. Starlight, Starbright, the Stardust Crusader is out of sight.
And with a brilliant knockout, shredding both of Stardust Crusader's wheels off, the number 10 seed Amethyst powers its way into the semi-finals, where it will face the winner of Cosmo versus Clank Requiem. But before that, it's time for the 1-8 matchup between Sparks and Umi Ryu.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the UK, it's Sparks! In the blue square, from the United Kingdom, it's Umi Ryu!
Okay, so we're up against Umi next. It's a very similar bot DRs. So the plan is just to go weapon on weapon to start with. See if we can maybe get him immobilized over the hazards, get a shot at his wheels.
Our bots are largely similar in this fight. We're both big horizontal spinners. My only worry is that he's got more defense than me, so it's going to be a lot harder to kill him than it is to kill me. So I'm just going to either try and take off that weapon or just try and last the fight.
The 1st seed Sparks and the 8th seed Umi Ryu, leagues apart by ranking, but so similar that anything could happen.
Away we go. 1 versus 8. And Umi Ryu trying to be boisterous against the big boy from the start. But it's taken damage. That entire back tail has gone flying. Not the worst damage it could take, but it is still damage early on.
Yes, you have to think maybe the idea of that tail was to slow down spinners, sacrificial tail of sorts, but it clearly hasn't done that. Sparks carrying on as though nothing ever happened. Oh, but the spikes will flip them over and they're back upright as a result.
Yeah, Sparks is the main seed in this tournament, but it's had its worrying moments here and there. And it's had its worrying moments in this fight itself, though Umi Ryu as well in danger there, flicked by the arena spikes. Just about avoiding Sparks' blade, but not that time. Away goes Atayo, away goes everybody. An incredible period of play, but I think Sparks is now coming out on top here in this round of 8 fight.
Umi Ryu doing a fantastic job to keep moving until it ends up in the grinder and on the floor flipper, but Sparks just taking to the spikes to make a quick departure from this battle. Now Umi Ryu, at least it hasn't been hit in a while. There you go.
I mean, the spinner certainly stands up well in exchanges with Sparks' weapon. And by the technicality, it is still in this fight. Surely that tire will go sooner rather than later. Well, at the moment, it's still going!
They've connected with the ceiling! Well, I hope it's made of thick stuff. Otherwise, BashBots would be cancelled for good. There goes the wheel in response. Umi Ryu thrown into the wall again. We at least know that the wall is built to take this. And now they're in the go!
There's a pot shot for you!
Sparks didn't even have to do anything in the end. And the spike just going straight through the center of Sparks. Try not to take damage after the fight is over. They did deal with Umi Ryu quite competently in the end. There's 2 wheels on either side of that machine, but they were quickly disposed of on one side. Umi Ryu played the defensive game, keeping away from that spinner, hoping that the arena could decide the battle, and it nearly did, until it did in the other way.
With our second wheel shredding of the night, Sparks moves on to the semi-finals, where he will face Polis in a clash of the Titans. It's time for our final match of the night and of the quarter-finals. We will see the 6th seed Cosmo taking on the 3 seed Clank Requiem. 2 bots similar in design. This is sure to be a close fight. Let's send it down to the Dan Beaver to break down the matchup.
2 vertical spinners who came out swinging and are showing no signs of stopping in this fight. Cosmo broke through Rival's data flow to get to this point in a beautifully driven battle that I'm sure will go down in the hearts of fans, only to be upstaged by Clank Requiem as they came from behind to demolish WoW Power until them straight out of the arena. Both of these powerful spinners have already thrown robots out of the arena, so their power is not to be ignored in the slightest, but only one's going to be rising higher and higher.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's robot fighting time! In the red square, from the USA, it's Cosmo! In the blue square, from Lithuania, it's Clank Requiem!
So, fighting Clank, which is probably one of my worst matchups, if not the worst one yet. My strategy is probably just the same as all of them. Wedge first, see if I can get under and rip the wedges off. Tear him to shreds. If not, then this may be the end for me.
I'm gonna run into him, and I'm gonna kill him.
Well, Cosmo here, going in as the underdog for the first time in the competition. Clank Requiem giving them a scare there, reminding you, I am the 3rd seed. Get ready for a challenge.
Round of 8, the remaining 8. This is where things step up another notch here! And there goes one of Clank Requiem's front notches, the front wedgelet on the far right. That's a big early blow for Cosmo, and another good follow-up attack too.
Catching the side there of Clank Requiem, as we know that's where the wheels are, but those 3 wedgelets that remain clearly lower to the ground than Cosmo, so they're going to need to be a little bit more tactical with their charges in the future, or they're going to get thrown over like that.
Certainly will. Clank Requiem's got him in close here, trying to follow up the attacks. Cosmo gets back into the centre of the arena, both of them tumble. And again, that was a big exchange. Can both of them
Who's
right
gonna
themselves?
self-right first? And they're gonna self-right at just about the same time, but Cosmo
Oh!
recovers quicker! They missed their charge. If they were just a little bit more to the right, they could have secured the out of the arena attack. But instead the arena spikes come to their consequences. And thrown over by Clank Requiem, who also charges into an arena spike.
Fast, ferocious fighting at the moment this is. I don't really know who's going to get the advantage in the rest of this fight because it's been real back and forth, blow and blow action. Clank Requiem overturn. Cosmo closing in with the charge. Lands that one on the follow-up, which it couldn't a little while ago. And Cosmo will be looking to follow that up again. Flicks it into the air.
Oh, they've exposed the back. That's dangerous. They need to run away, but they're thrown over and into the grinder. And getting out wedged once again, but somehow negates that situation. And Clank Requiem stuck on the side there. It's a good job they've got such big wheels to get down from there.
Yeah, certainly is.
Right to the spinner though. The one part of Clank Requiem that doesn't have a wedge is exactly what collided with the front of Cosmo, and they're paying the price for it.
An absolutely incredible fight, and away goes another wedgelet on one of Clank Requiem's own drives. Well, that's big.
We know that's important as well, and it's the only external damage we've really seen. I'm sure they're suffering eternally at this point. But there goes another wedgelet. There's only one left, and the arena spikes once again,
still got an
showing that they still exist.
Still got an
And they
incredible
have been
40 seconds left of this fight. Can Cosmo continue to create the big visible damage? Yes, it can! 3 wedgelets down. Clank Requiem here needs a bit of a knockout blow, or you'd imagine that visual damage we see could end up turning the tide in Cosmo's favour.
Turning are the grinders. Clank Requiem finally back on its wheels, but in a very, very dangerous spot.
Time ticking down. The number 3 seed is in trouble here. And I think they might be done. They need something massive. That was massive. But is it going to be enough? What a fight that was.
Incredibly close. You can always count on 2 vertical spinners to give you a real competitive fight. Not often they go the distance, but here we have a tight judge's decision. Clank Requiem probably in the lead at the beginning despite taking the more noticeable damage, especially as Cosmo missed all of its out of the arena efforts. But by the end, the damage was racking up.
The judges' results are in. The winner by split decision is Clank Requiem!
And with another extremely close judges' decision tonight, Clank Requiem moves on to the semi-finals and Cosmo is out of the competition. Tonight has set up our finals for the next and last episode. It's set to be a spectacular final. Join us next time when the 4 remaining robots will step into the box for the semi-finals and championship final. From all of us here at BashBots, we thank you so much for watching and we hope you enjoy the show. We'll see you all next time, but until then, good night.